other clergy here present, renowned journalists, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you the Honorable Samuel K. Woods, Minister of Public Works. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you, my dear friends, and please sit down. You know, I've always said that I was there to help to feed the hungry.
Amen. Yes, sir.
I was there to visit those who were in prison. I was there to help somebody who was treading the wrong path. I want a simple eulogy. My dear friends, they say the darkest hour is just about the dawn of day. You know, just before I came, I remember speaking to Gregory from Europe. And at the train station, I lost all my personal belongings. And Gregory was saying to me, he was worried about whether I'll be able to make it to the United States. But somehow, I made it because I always believe that there's nothing worse that can happen to anyone. We're born naked in this world and naked will return.
Yeah.
So the desire and the demand for materialism has not caught my sight yet, at least. And so, pastor and friends, and it's difficult in the Liberian audience to begin to name people because in this audience I see just too many friends and brothers and elders in the profession of journalism, human rights campaigners, and so many friends, and I don't want to run the risks of leaving people out when I start naming people. But I'm blessed, honored, and privileged to be in your midst. I'm honored because I'm invited by a dear friend, a comrade, a co-conspirator, Gregory Stem. And for me, it is a privilege, it is an honor to be invited by a friend because it's a recognition of our friendship. For years, I've known Gregory as a student, as a professional journalist and photographer, as a campaigner for justice, but as a dear friend and a brother. Last night I was talking to some friends from Liberia and I quoted the philosopher Robert Frost. You know, Robert Frost said that two roads diverge into the forest. But I traveled on the one less traveled by many. But it made all the difference. The endeavor today is a contribution to the path of progress that Liberia has taken. Not because any individual desire it, not because of the benevolence of any group of individuals, but because of the blood, the sweat, and tears of Liberians that have been shared for that country. The price that have been paid by every Liberian and friends alike. Liberia is determined to rise again.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We have decided to enter a sacred covenant to study war no more.
Yeah.
To invest in peace. To contribute. And so as I come to launch this endeavor, I want us to reflect on two key issues. One, the use of our talent. The use of our talent. And two, What do the soul in those photos represent? What do they say to us? I say the soul of those photos. What do they say to us? Those two things. The use of talents. Talents is no aesthetic, romantic character of individual. It's divine. It's what God gave us to give purpose and meaning to our lives and the community in which we live. How have we used it? Launching this book reflects how others use it to pillage, to rip, and to destroy. But it also manifests the triumph of the human spirit, where another person used it to contribute to the healing, the reconciliation process of Liberia. Talent used. I recall the many days and nights, sleepless hours. When living in the same community with Gregory, he would come home midnight, wake up early, and sometimes we'd be on the same trips together. That morning when we heard about the massacre in Haber Firestone, and where we were able to count more than 600 bodies that we buried, we were there together, picking up bodies, lifting up babies who were still sucking the dead mother breast. But in no way and small measure can we begin to reflect on that history of cattle camp, of the massacre on Camp Johnson Road, of the destruction of lives and property and the emasculation of people in Bombing Hills, but through the lens of Gregory. Those photographs, the camera that he used, the camera do not have consciousness. It doesn't have consciousness at all. But it took the desire, the eye, the talent of Gregory to bring life into it. Each of us in this room are guided by the divine in different ways. And deep in our soul lies the opportunity to help to lift humanity to a different level. At great risk to his life, sometimes being threatened, exploring factional territories. I recall that some days he had to wear what we call the flak jacket with the ECOMOG soldiers. When we had to go to look for the bodies of the nuns. The 5 American nuns were killed. He had to wear flak jackets to be able to get in there and bring out photos. Those of us who receive honor in the human rights world, those organizations who have been recognized and appreciated, all of us we owe a debt of gratitude to Gregory Step. When no one could understand and appreciate the level of barbarity in Liberia, it took the lens of Greg to bring to the world the images that compelled them to wake up and come to help our nation. It challenged the indifference of a world that tended to lose interest in Liberia. A world that did not understand that greed and naked power had consumed our country. That man's inhumanity to man